All right, welcome to the Caregiver's Couch, where today we're talking about caregiving. I am Tanise Bethel Guerra. I'm the proud owner of Rest Assured Home Care. I'm here today with my son Tyler, who has a few questions about my entrepreneurial journey and why I chose caregiving. So you get to sit in and get a sneak peek of our private conversation. All right, Tyler.
So,
Fire
how
away.
is caregiving work?
How does caregiving work? So, most often, I receive a phone call from maybe a daughter or a son who has an aging parent, and they are it. Like they're the person providing all of the care for their parents, for their children that they're raising. In addition to that, they're trying to go to work, they're professionals. In addition to that, they're trying to manage all of the things for themselves. So they're calling me to get support, and I support them by providing a caregiver to their parents, someone who could provide companionship, light housekeeping, maybe medication management, meal prep, feeding, mobility assistance. It's a number of things. It really just depends on what the challenge is that they're facing, and we support them with that challenge.
So, what is one of the most tragic things that have happened when you're
Um,
working?
well, I haven't had any tragedies, but I did have one challenge that really just kind of blew my mind. And this happened one day I went to go visit someone and they had pets and I did not know they had pets. They had a cat, but when I went in, we had a great conversation. We spent a lot of time together. And then when I walked back out, I looked down and I had on a pair of white pants that were covered in fleas. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can't get in the car with these fleas. Oh my goodness. So I was standing there like shaking my pants off, shaking my pants off. Um, but it wasn't so tragic that I couldn't get over it. It was just a little bit shocking.
Why did you choose caregiving?
Well, I can tell you it was from my own journey. And you probably have a little bit of insight to this because um, our your oldest sister, Andres, has special needs. This was before your time, but I'll give you some of the insight. I was working as a registered nurse at the hospital doing 12-hour shifts, and when I would come home, I would still need to take care of her. And she had special needs. So, but I was burnt out. I was tired from work and very tired trying to provide care for her too. And one day she was about, I want to say 9 or 10 years old. And I remember I just got home from an overnight shift and I got her dressed and got her to school. And about an hour or so later, the teacher's assistant called me and she said, you need to get to the school fast. And I could hear the urgency in her voice. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I got there and it was definitely an emergency. We ended up having to call 911. She went to the hospital. We ended up having surgery. And eventually we made it back home safely. But I was like, I'm not going back home without support. Like, we have to have a caregiver. So I hired a caregiver. And about 2 weeks in, I noticed that she gained like 10 pounds. And the shocking thing to me was like I didn't even realize she was underweight. Like I thought I was doing my very best and managing my job, managing her care, taking good care of her. But one thing that was very different was that her caregiver was giving her one-to-one care. Like her only job was to make sure that your big sister was happy with all of her needs, and she did that very well. So that's what started my caregiving journey. And I realized that there are quite a few other people that may be experiencing the same challenges that I have. Maybe it's not with their child, maybe it's with a parent or maybe even a sibling. But whatever their care needs are, I want to help them get on the other side or solve that problem so they have the smile that I had when I realized she gained 10 pounds in 2 weeks.
So, what's the most funniest story you've had?
The most funniest story I've had? Hmm. Let's see. I think it's one of my patients who said I was the best chef ever. When I was really not a chef, I was his nurse, but because I was so committed to making his breakfast the way he wanted it, that he always would say, "You're the best chef ever." So I kind of dubbed myself the nurse chef to be his nurse chef.
What was the most recent story?
My most recent story in caregiving, well, I have quite a bit going on. But if I could focus in on one caregiving story, it probably would be with your sister because I was in her room the other day with the caregiver and she was having one of those finger sucking moments and she was like, "Give me kisses, give me kisses, give me kisses." And then she had a chance to get that finger in to have her fingers, and it was the joy of her day.
So,
Good. So, thank you for tuning in to the Caregiver's Couch. I hope this gives you insight. And if you are the primary caregiver for your loved one, reach out to us. Let's have a conversation how we can help you solve some of your caregiving challenges. Until next time, take care.
That was good. Good job.
Yeah.